Welcome once again. We apologize arriving to you this late, but of course a technical glitch was sorted. Now first, let's look at the headlines.
Brought to you by
Greenergy Ethanol Stoves and Fuel. Enjoy cleaner, healthier and affordable cooking. Cook your food in less than 2,000 shillings per day. No charcoal. Stop deforestation. We are looking for agents across Uganda. Greenergy. Bible Corner.
Tonight, President Museveni commissioned Sebe Zonal Industrial Hub in Queen District. First Lady Janet Katahan Museveni speaks out on Bulambuli landslides victims. Nema collects over shilling 10 billion in wetland degradation fines in 1 year. And lastly, Uganda to play South Africa in gold medal match at Africa Netball Cup. Thank you once again for allowing us into your space. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Mugalu Mohammed will shortly join us there on sign language. Now into the bulletin, a delegation of religious leaders under the umbrella organization, the Interreligious Council, have appealed to the congregation of believers at the end of the year Thanksgiving prayers held at State House in Tebe to take great concern about 14 million Ugandans reported to be suffering from mental health cases and identify ways of addressing the matter. The Reverend Father Dr. Robert Bainomgisha applauded President Museveni Kaguta for the exercise of the way he exercises the constitutional power enshrined under the prerogative of mercy to pardon prisoners and set them free, which they said is a sign of forgiveness. The statement followed last month's prerogative of mercy through which President Museveni pardoned 19 NUP supporters who had spent more than 2 years in prison on treasonable charges. Let's hear more.
The news media reported some time back that about 14 million people in Uganda suffer from mental illness. That is a challenge posed to all of us to do something, especially to find root causes of what breaks our hearts and minds. Thirdly, proclaiming liberty to the captives and set prisoners free. This is not just a matter of opening prisons, although there can be elements of this. The biblical texts could also be challenging us to address the root causes which lead to imprisonment. We are all called upon to build just societies where each person has what is due to him or her, so that people are not tempted to commit crimes. Fourthly, restoring sight to the blind. Luke's text adds restoring sight of the blind. Here we should not limit ourselves to loss of sight, where a lot can be done to improve our diets so that people do not lose their sight. We can also increase access to appropriate technology so that those who do not see can use their hands and ears to read and listen to texts respectively.
Now, President Museveni has appealed to religious and political leaders to avoid sectarianism based on political and identity, which he said hinders development and prosperity of the people. President Museveni told the congregation at the end of the year's Thanksgiving prayers that the NRM doctrine is to fight sectarianism of religions and political identities throughout patriotism. The president also revealed that fighting sectarianism in the army started with the dismissal of chaplains from the army. He also applauded the Interreligious Council for championing unity against sectarianism.
That's why we reacted against the sectarianism which was being pushed by people whom we didn't understand what they were interested in. We rejected, as a student movement, the sectarianism of religion, because some people were pushing that. Sectarianism of religion, of Catholics, Protestants, Muslims, tribes. We said, but these are all, all these people need us and we need them. So we rejected this. That's how the principles of the NRM we hear about started. Patriotism. Love Uganda. Why? Because you need it. Pan-Africanism. Love Africa. Why? Because you need it. And that's how, when the old system broke down, because the old system broke down by itself, the crisis of 1966, which was just caused by our leaders. Then Amin comes in 1971. The whole system collapses completely. That's when we now came forward with our previously distilled principles of patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and democracy. And that's how we created the army and the political movement. And we gained the upper hand because we had factors of strength on our side. People were talking of disintegration. We are talking of integration.
Now, as we move ahead, President Yoweri Museveni has threatened to arrest parish development model extension workers in Kapchorwa region who were involved in deducting 1 million shillings for each PDM beneficiary in Kapchorwa region under the disguise of deducting bank charges. The president had to put on notice the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Matia Kashaija, that moving forward, the purported charges should be done from the Ministry of Finance during the disbursement.
Wealth creation also had problems. These soldiers started doing their own things, and the people were complaining, they are only serving themselves. So we said, okay, get out, let the people get the money and buy their own inputs. That's how we started with the PDM. PDM is moving well in some areas. In other areas, there are some, like in Kapchorwa, I think I may have to arrest many people because I was there yesterday. And then I said, I asked, there was this huge crowd there. I said, did you get the 1 million per person? Many of them said no. They got less. I said, why? They said that, number one, the banks had deducted some money for transferring the money. How much did they deduct? They talked this, they said maximum was 30,000, which they deducted. Then I said, okay, that one will not happen again. In future, Kasaija will be the one to pay the bank charges, not the... We shall not deduct from the 1 million. The recipient must get 1 million. But apart from the deductions by the banks, did you get all the money? They said, no. Some people were cutting you off the money. Some people got 500,000. So I said, okay, those who didn't get 970,000 lying here. They lined the whole. I had my policewoman. I said, now you write. So we are opening a general police file. Yesterday, my people wrote the name and the telephone. The name and the telephone. It's easy really to fight this corruption because now we have the communication.
Well, President Yoweri Museveni has resounded his disappointment with government-aided schools whose head teachers still charge fees for pupils and students. Museveni says this has increased the number of school dropouts, something he is vowing not to sit down and watch. This was during the commissioning of the Presidential Industrial Skilling Hub in Queen District, where he encouraged parents to embrace the opportunity for their children.
This is how leaders of Chepsukunya Town Council in Queen District engaged in a dance to prepare for the coming of the president. He was scheduled to commission the Sebei Zonal Presidential Industrial Skilling Hub. Not so long, the old man with the hat arrived, commissioned and toured this training facility. Impressed, President Museveni encouraged the parents to allow their children to embrace such practical learning.
This is what this hub here is doing. To give our children skills.
He expressed hope in the capacity of such courses in changing lives of such young people.
The problem is that people don't listen carefully to our message.
But we don't know what
in the 1996 manifesto, we mentioned all this. But people were not bothered. If they were listening, you would have moved very far.
President Museveni's hope was partly driven by some of the testimonies shared by former students of this skilling hub.
Ikiwa avuni ile chetoro cha tuboni chekonom farasit ni babechi
wonye baiganda la kwaitabon kwegale chimene chetebenen batano.
Mr. Museveni, who extended financial support towards their endeavors, decried continuous charging of fees in government-aided schools.
We send money for UPE. We send money for USE. But the schools still charge school charges. And then the children drop out of school. The other one, the boy dropped out in P5. The other girl dropped out in S4. What is taking them out of school? The school charges by the schools. Why should we have this? So, these hubs which I have created, I've gone back to Ruero Triangle now.
Area leaders welcomed the gesture as a way to go for jobless youth.
This has really changed the lives of many young men. And this is what NRM government is sticking to in terms of making sure that people have money in their pockets.
MP Chemaswet wants establishment of an industrial park in this area to complement this milestone.
Industrial parks can be put anywhere in this country if the president, of course, directs. And I know he will direct because we have already available land. The investors will not buy land. The investors will not be conned. You know very well that investors have been conned on issues to do with the land. But when the government avails the land, the investors will be able to invest without any hassle at all.
The Sebei Zonal Presidential Industrial Skilling Hub caters for youth in the districts of Bukwo, Kwen and Kapchorwa. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Now, the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni, thanked God for having mercy on landslides and flood victims in Bulambuli in the other parts of the country as the year comes to an end. She also appealed to God to extend his mercy hand on children held in war in Sudan and Ukraine. The First Lady also thanked the Lord for giving President Museveni the wisdom to serve Uganda and manage the nation.
I congratulate all those persons whose names have been read for the award of the Uganda Vocational Qualifications Modular Transcript of the Directorate of Industrial Training, Ministry of Education and Sports, in the occupation of Baker. Congratulations to all of you. I always wish and pray that we African women would have that unity and work together. Before. We thank you in a special way, Lord God, for the visionary leadership of our President, President Yoweri Museveni, for you have raised him up to be a father in this nation and in the region and even in our continent. Father, we recognize that this too is from you and we thank you. Thank you, Lord, for giving him the wisdom, the strength and ability to lead your people into greater peace and prosperity. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for the government that he leads that serves the people of our great nation. During this Christmas season, we want to particularly thank you for the many Ugandans who serve our nation in the armed forces, the UPDF, the Uganda Police, the doctors, the nurses, the teachers, and the many thousands of others who daily spend their lives in service to our people. We pray a special blessing on them and their families during this Christmas season. We thank you, Lord, for the unique success we have experienced this year in different sectors of our society. Thank you for the grace you have given us this year to host NAM, G77 plus China, the Commonwealth Speakers Conference, and all other bigger summits that have brought the nations to our motherland. Your word says in Isaiah 60 that nations will come to our brightness and kings to our rising. Thank you, Lord.
Still, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has urged wives of Special Forces Commander SFC soldiers to unite, work together, and embrace a savings culture. Mrs. Museveni emphasized that through disciplined serving, the SFC spouses fraternity could accumulate substantial funds, expand their businesses, and enhance their family's development. She delivered this message on Thursday as a chief guest at the second graduation ceremony of SFC spouses held at the Marine Grounds in Entebbe.
Before. I congratulate all those persons whose names have been read for the award of the Uganda Vocational Qualifications Modular Transcript of the Directorate of Industrial Training, Ministry of Education and Sports, in the occupation of Baker. Congratulations to all of you. I always wish and pray that we African women would have that unity and work together and save until one day they can say to the World Bank, we don't need your money. That's what we must work to see in Africa, because even when we learn to work. We don't even save. When you save a little money and Christmas is coming round, you get all of it and you use it and you have to start right. So let me call upon the leadership of Wamama Production Center to take advantage of the industrial hub established by the President for the promotion of industrialization and manufacturing. This initiative provides a great opportunity for you to diversify your income.
His Excellency's support to initiatives like skilling of the girl child has been an open chance for groups like Wamama Production Center to benefit, flourish, equip and promote our spouses with vital technical skills. His empowerment not only alleviates financial burdens, but also strengthens the very fabric of our families and communities. As the saying goes, if you empower a woman, you empower a nation. This truth resonates profoundly within the Special Forces Command and its surrounding areas, where the skills have impacted lives.
In each barracks, women gather, do their products, then we sell them together, and the barracks administration has always supported us. We have 21 products on market, and the SFC canteens, they've been supporting us by buying from us what they supply to their credit and cash canteens. We are so happy.
Well, now happenings with NEMA as of June 2024. National Environmental Management Authority, NEMA, has collected over 10 billion shillings in court fines from wetlands degraders in the period of 1 year. The Executive Director, NEMA, Dr. Barirega Akankwasa, says the authority will continue carrying on its mandate to save the wetlands, and no propaganda for political pressure will divert them from this noble cause.
According to the 2022 data on the state of wetlands in Uganda by the Ministry of Water, Eastern Region was still leading in wetland degradation with a total of 4,638.3 square kilometers of wetland degraded, translating to 41%. This was followed by Northern Region with 2,779.9 square kilometers degraded, a 24.6% loss. Central Region had about 2,409.7 square kilometers degraded, translating to 21.3%.
Government is very clear: no more deforestation, no more wetland usage for destructive purposes.
The assessment indicated that the cause of degradation in several regions varied depending on the economic activity. In Eastern Region, degradation was steered by mainly rice growing, Northern Region by large-scale farming, while in Central Region it was due to settlements caused by population pressure and industrialization.
Population is a direct threat to environment because natural resources are fixed where the population is growing. Even if you have a qualitative growth, it will still damage the environment.
NEMA, together with other line agencies, continue to carry out several operations to restore the wetlands, including the major 2024 Lubiji restoration exercise.
The operations are continuous until we have liberated as much as we can of the degraded wetlands. So the operations are not about stop.
Out of the 185 surveillance operations conducted by the Environmental Protection Force under NEMA between September 2023 and June 2024, 330 criminal cases were registered, 71 cases were fined by NEMA, and 243 cases still under inquiry. These operations aided the collection of over 10 billion shillings in court fines. NEMA has emphasized that the authority will continue executing its mandate and will not in any way be diverted from its noble cause by propagandists and any form of political malign.
If you accept to be distracted from your main cause, you will never attain your objective. So social media blackmail does not in any way at all, distract us from doing what we do, because what we do is based on evidence, is based on facts, is based on technical analysis, is based on law. We don't base our operations on social media opinions.
It should be noted that although NEMA temporarily halted the restoration exercise mainly in Lubiji, Kampala section, the exercise continued in other areas across the country. Dr. Akankwasa Barirega noted that upon resumption of the exercise, the authority will consider all restoration orders irrespective of the time frame, and no one will be given amnesty.
We paused in Rubiji to give people a chance to mobilize their things and live peacefully, to reduce damage, to listen to those who have had complained through appeals to restoration orders. And thirdly, some people had gone to court, so the court process has to be given a chance to proceed.
He says the authority will not debate on any matters concerning environment. Lubiji Wetland, comprising of areas of Nansana, Waise, Naweru, Ganda, Bira, Kawempe, among others, still remains one of the highly degraded wetlands, with over 1,000 square kilometers degraded. Susan Naonga reporting for EBC TV.
Now, Minister for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Frank Tumwebeze Kajiji, has called on institutions involved in agriculture and livestock to focus on improving quality rather than just selling products locally. The minister was speaking during an inauguration of new expansion projects at the National Farmers Leaders Center in Kapirigisa, aimed at increasing access to agricultural training for Ugandans.
Congratulate the entire project stakeholders, and it's my pleasure to declare the project started.
Speaking during the inauguration of the new expansion project at National Farmers Leadership Center in Kampiringisa, Minister for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Frank Tumwebase, urged agricultural institutions in Uganda to put emphasis on improving the quality of the products for the farmers. He says prioritizing quality agriculture and livestock production will help many Ugandans economically.
Why don't we link this to our traditional farm schools? Yes, traditional farm schools in different parts of the country, and learn it. Our exports, about 57%, are agricultural. But these exports, if we're not careful, will decline because of underproduction. We want people to change their mind to understand farming and make money out of it.
The center established by President Yoweri Museveni in 2021 is designed to provide farmers with the skills needed to improve their farming practices. The initiative is a collaborative effort between the Ugandan government and South Korea.
I want to thank the Korean government for the vision of targeting our people to look at what they have in plenty and learn it. So let's turn this into a center of excellence of agribusiness, of commercializing all of these entities. People should come here to learn, how do I grow cabbage commercially.
Currently accommodating 60 trainees, the center will soon expand to host 220. John Bosco Okwaja, the principal of the National Farmers Center, emphasized the center's importance in enhancing the economic status of Ugandan farmers.
Because now people are moving away from the other traditional farming, where people produce for human consumption, and now they are beginning commercializing. And when you visit them, the type of farming they are having has greatly improved. And then even their household incomes have also improved. We want to take mindset change to the grassroots.
Jihyun, the country director representing the South Korean ambassador, reaffirmed their commitment to creating a modern learning environment for Uganda's farmers.
This new facility will increase the number of accommodations to nurture more leaders, change their mindset so that they can find their own solutions, they can move with their own solutions in their daily lives.
The ceremony was attended by Presidential Advisor on Trade, Amelia Chambade, the Permanent Secretary at the Agriculture Ministry, and other dignitaries. The project, set to cost $14 million, is expected to be completed within 2 years. Crispus Arinitwe, Prose Chontawaire, UBC News.
Stop breathing. To be a winner, you must breathe only when necessary. Breathing is for losers. What is that? Did I give you permission to sweat? You can sweat in your free time. Push the arms straight.
Winning is hard, but with MTN Momo, it's easy. Simply pay or shop with Momo for a chance to win mobile money every day. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Uganda, are you ready to kick things up to the next level? The Uganda National Lottery brings you Sports Take 10. Predict the results of 10 football games and win big. With tickets at only 500 shillings, join the fun and make your predictions count with Sports Take 10. Sports Take 10, your ticket to football glory.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Uncle Mo.
Asibi koja tukwasa.
Vayo na wasajja batusonyiye.
Chikakasi.
Vayo.
Government has done it. Uganda Revenue Authority has taken you off the burden of paying interests and penalties. All you have to do is to pay your outstanding principal tax to benefit from the waiver of interests and penalties that runs till the end of December 2024. Call us on our toll-free line or email services@ura.go.ug.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
Welcome back as we turn into our second segment. University administrators and managers have been advised to study the job market to ensure that they come up with programs that meet the needs of the market. While presiding over the fourth session of the 20th graduation of Kyambogo University, State Minister for Higher Education John Chrysostom Muyingo, who represented the Minister for Education and Sports Janet Kataha Museveni, said people involved in career guidance in schools should discourage students from learning courses that do not address needs of the job market. Let's hear more from Farida Namfuka.
Kyambogo University has held its fourth session of the 20th graduation, where a total of 2,634 students from the School of Education and Faculty of Engineering have been conferred with degrees and awarded diplomas and certificates in various disciplines.
Engineering, civil building, civil and building engineering. So we basically train engineers in institutions. We train them to achieve basic skills.
I've achieved. I'll help my learners also to follow this legacy.
Reflect that Kyambogo should do just advance in such a way that they equip our workshops so that we can also offer practical lessons during the training.
The Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, through the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, appreciated the university for allocating a local research fund towards research capacity building of academic staff.
It is important in higher education because it helps to inform policies and practices that can improve the quality of education and the overall students' experiences. The university's initiative of STEAM Festival annually where students and staff and the whole world showcase their innovations and research is paramount to the nation.
In his comments as a supervisor of universities, Mr. Muyingo advised people responsible for career guidance to study the job market and discourage students to study programs that do not meet the needs of the job market.
Please, 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 universities, study the job market, the employment. I send my child here so that at the end of the day, he gets employed. Either he fits into the available job market, or he creates his own jobs. But where this is not happening, let's study our programs.
The Chancellor Kyambogo University, John Okedi Yakobo, said Kyambogo has made great achievements in teaching research.
The performance of Kyambogo University at the midterm was at 52%, based on the physical and financial outputs. Indeed, the review revealed that Kyambogo University has made significant achievements in fulfilling its mandate, especially in teaching, research and learning.
The Vice-Chancellor, Kyambogo, Professor Eli Katunguka, requested government to provide a scholarship scheme through which people who want to study PhDs can be supported.
The money we receive from government and the fees we collect is inadequate to meet all the operations of the university. This has contributed to increasing domestic arrears year after year. Kyambogo University, you will be amazed to know that some programs pay like 600,000 a semester. That is very little money. So management will propose a moderate increase in tuition fees to meet some of our obligations.
The fourth session concludes the 4 days of 20th graduation of Kyambogo University, where 11,721 students have been conferred with doctorates, masters and bachelor's degrees, with some being awarded diplomas and certificates. I'm Navka Farid and Andrew Sebida at Kyambogo.
Still in the education sector, the Ministry of Education and Sports has called upon district education officers and district inspectors of schools to enhance operations against schools absenteeism for better results. The Director of Education Standards at the Ministry of Finance, Atima, says absenteeism undermines government program of ensuring quality education provision for all learners. Mr. Atima was engaging poorly performing local government in inspection at St. Henry's College, Chitovu in Masaka City.
The retreat, organized by the Directorate of Education Standards under the Ministry of Education and Sports, was attended by district education officers and district inspectors of schools from 21 poor-performing local governments in school inspection.
Look out on what could have caused low performance. As you can see during the inspection, in its own right is not a very straightforward thing. And we've had so many inspectors over time being also recruited, and they had been teachers. Now, so if they are not very conversant, if they are not equipped with school skills of inspection, then it even affects the judgments on how they are doing their work. Of course, some issues are about transport, accessing some of the schools, but I think there's also general laxity in some areas.
The ministry intends to retool these officers on the electronic system of education inspection in the contemporary learning environment.
This tool is new, and being new, it has a lot of indicators which have to be seen in schools, and I think my inspectors, with the time, they'll get used to this tool, and because of this being new, that's why we have not been able to cover the many schools we are supposed to cover.
The retreat involved educating school inspectors on modern modes of drafting reports to avoid misrepresentation of data. This is expected to improve the planning process for the sector.
Who inspected? If the school report is not good, then eventually the national report will also not be a good report.
Stakeholders identified teachers' absenteeism as the main bottleneck affecting government-initiated education programs. School inspectors are employed to be vigilant and report to those unschool plus teachers, ruining learners' future.
So we cannot be the ones presiding over a system in charge of education in this country, all of us, including me, and we are having children who have been left out because they are not learning. And one of the biggest bottlenecks is absenteeism of teachers. So if we can all unite and at least tackle that cancer, then now we shall struggle to see the quality of teaching.
Participants from these poorly performing local governments from central and western Uganda have committed towards changing for the better.
Some issues that can be raised in the reports and really within ourselves we can discuss, like absenteeism. We don't need to call the center. Yes, teachers' absenteeism, learners' absenteeism, meals. That one we need to sit as a district, discuss and come up with solutions to address them.
Only that the results we have received, we have a challenge why we have not been performed as expected. And those are the challenges we want to go back and work on to make sure that we improve on the inspection.
This is the second kind of retreat targeting poor-performing local governments, with the first one have been held in Sorot district in November this year, attracting education stakeholders from eastern and northern regions of the country. Abdul Nasir Lubwama for UBC.
Now, Uganda Muslim Supreme General Assembly members are supporting former Deputy Mufti Sheikh Abdallah Semambo plan to engage President Museveni to prevent a trivialization and politicizing of religious matters. This was disclosed by Dr. Irumba Mohammed while announcing significant changes in the leadership structure following resolutions passed during the General Assembly held on December 15th to 17th, 2023.
Muslim Council General Assembly members supporting former Deputy Mufti Sheikh Abdallah Semambo has emphasized that political interference in religious matters undermines the integrity and decisions which represent the collective will of Uganda's Muslim population.
We have noticed with great concern that some politicians have gone reckless in these issues. They think a religious matter is like the normal business they play around with. The General Assembly instructed Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaje to hand over. You hear someone from Office of the Prime Minister, Office of the President, playing around that he will not go. As who? Because that means war. And that's why we want to engage the President, given his experience. He knows why people fight.
The General Assembly, recognized as the supreme decision-making body of the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council, resolved to retire Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaje from his position in the public interest. This decision was deemed conclusive and irreversible, signaling a new chapter for the Council's leadership.
Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaje was instructed to leave. He hasn't. If we just engage the headquarters, he wants a fight. We will not do that. Currently, we are here at Tagi office, we have at Tagi Hotel, we have an operation office, but anytime we are going to Old Kampala, as the law dictates.
The committee reassured members of the Muslim community that the Uganda Muslim Supreme Council belongs to all Muslims in Uganda and that their voices will be heard in subsequent General Assembly sessions. The leadership transition seeks to address allegations of mismanagement, including embezzlement of funds, misuse of institutional property, and harassment of clerics and other members.
Appointed leaders, you have been appointed by the competent authorities of Uganda Muslim Supreme Council under the directives of the General Assembly. Nobody should intimidate you, nobody should tell you otherwise. Just listen and cooperate with the new leadership.
However, Uganda Muslim Supreme Council dismissed it as a waste of time, urged Muslims to shun the Semambo faction, and emphasized the Council's strategic plan.
Kikulu nnyo ekyavudde mu nteekateeka zino twasobodde okukola launch oba okutongoza strategic plan ya myaka 10 egenda kutambulizibwako ensonga z'obusiraamu mu ggwanga ya muggundu erimu ensonga nnyingi enkulu ezikwatagana ku mbeera z'abantu, ezikwatagana ku ddiini, ezikwatagana ku baimaamu, ezikwatagana ku ggwanga. Kye tutunuulidde tuli ku kipya tugenda mu maaso. Alhamdulillah tukoowola buli muntu yenna alowooza ku nkulaakulana, alowooza kugenda mu maaso, ajja twegatteko. Saagala amawulire gano ag'omuggundu gagatte ku bintu ebitumalira obudde. Tugende n'ebintu ebiriwo. Gwe bw'otunula wano. Tugende n'ekigenda mu maaso kati ky'olabako inshallah.
Now, Olive Lumonya has been applauded for her significant contribution towards women empowerment across the globe. This was during the celebrations to honor her for the Global Female Leadership Impact Award she won at the Global Power Women Conference held in New York this September. The function was held at Serena Hotel, Kampala.
Mrs. Lumonya in September 2024 went ahead to win a global accolade, the Female Leadership Impact Award during the Global Power Women Conference in New York.
I dedicate this award to the President of the Republic of Uganda for his commitment to make sure that women are at the forefront.
Women on the African continent have over time been underrated due to cultural beliefs and norms, a factor that some women have defied and fought to the top.
Accepted the award. I traveled to New York, and at the university, I was able to get that award. So I thank God for that.
According to Olive Lumonya, the Deputy Director of Uganda Civil Aviation Authority, a podium where women can voice out the issues should be created.
We need to have some policies, some environments that allow women to stand up on the podium and speak authoritatively.
Any woman can make it. It's how you choose your journey.
She implored civil servants to avail themselves in service without targeting financial gains, a factor that will help them grow in leadership.
If you want to build your leadership, go somewhere and give your leadership from the heart. Don't go to look for boards because you must be paid. When you start by looking for where you're going to be paid, you'll never give that service.
The managing director, Finca James Onyuta, commended the remarkable contribution of Mrs. Lumonya in boosting and setting the bar high for women in leadership at a global stage.
Olive not only has been a great leader for us, but she's also continuing to mentor young women in this country. And for us as Finca, this not only inspires us as an organization, but truly reflects what we had to do when we came into this country, empowering women at every level within the country.
I want to thank you because since you joined us, I have no cause to regret from what you are doing. And I am definitely sure that you will continue to advance our aims as a Civil Aviation Authority to the heights that we want to get to.
Jimmy Akanshemeza reporting for UBC.
Thank you very much there, Akanshe Meja. Now, in the media fraternity, journalists under the umbrella body, the Uganda Parliamentary Press Association, UPPA, have been urged to embrace positive reporting and avoid misleading information. The call was made by Bukoli Central Member of Parliament, Solomon Silwanyi, during the swearing-in of the incoming leadership of the journalists' body in Parliament. Silwanyi, also a member of the Parliamentary Commission, represented the Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong. The newly sworn-in leaders pledged to exhibit professionalism in their area of jurisdiction.
The Uganda Parliamentary Press Association, WUPA, is a body that brings together journalists covering news around Parliament. The umbrella body currently accommodates over 250 journalists who also, through the WUPA circle, generate avenues for improving livelihoods. WUPA recently held its elections for both leaders of the association and the circle. The successful leaders Friday morning collectively took oath of office during a ceremony attended by fellow scribes from different bodies and media houses. Bukoli Central MP, also Parliamentary Commissioner Solomon Silwanyi, represented the Speaker of Parliament as the chief guest. Sirwanyi implored the journalists to embrace positive reporting and avoid misleading information.
What you do today automatically follows you, what you become in the near future, and also for the generations to come. When you report with the integrity, you become a man of integrity. If people know you as somebody who reports false news, you become a man of false news, a man or a woman of false news. So,
as you take up responsibility, I urge you to continue championing the principles of ethical journalism. Let your leadership inspire teamwork, innovation, commitment, truth in everything you do.
Two-time WUPA President Sam Ibanda Mugabe from Next Media and Gloria Gwitabinji from UBC expressed hope in developing the association by ensuring that the members exhibit high level of professionalism.
But we are planning to carry out benchmarking in other parliaments to see how the journalists perform and conduct their business in covering the proceedings of parliament.
It deeply pains me to see senior journalists seeking for help when they are in critical moments. They cannot even afford a proper medication for sure. That narrative must end, and that will only end if we get people to support our circle, such that members can access loans, such that members can borrow money, any amount of money, for example 50 million, 70 million, 60 million.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
Now, Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries has started the district's rollout of the Uganda Climate Smart Agriculture Transformation Project to integrate climate agriculture approaches that boost productivity in the agricultural sector. The Commissioner in the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Fisheries, Akayo Consolata Assist, represented the Permanent Secretary during the launch for the Bunyoro sub-region at Kakomiro District Headquarters.
Climate smart agriculture has been earmarked to increase productivity, market access, and resilience of selected value chains. Minister of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries has started rolling out climate smart agricultural transformation projects that increase agricultural productivity and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. At the rollout for Bunyoro sub-region, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, represented by the Commissioner Akayo Consolata, said the initiative addresses climate change.
Move district by district to make sure that the team in each district understand what this project is all about. We must be committed. We must put time and commitment to ensure that the project in front of us is achieved, so that you are able to internalize the project, you own the project, and when the implementation is beginning, because you will have internalized the project, and then the implementation will be easier.
The project will support 4 value chains: crops, livestock, fisheries, and the beneficial insects. And it targets 3.9 million farmers, which will include 40% women, plus 620,000 in 62 districts, including refugees. The RDC Kakumiro Major retired David Matov says the project addresses the value chain of the agricultural sector.
With a facility, so that since they are promoting agriculture, once you know the weather pattern, you know the rain pattern, then you can now go for agriculture well knowing we have rains. The machine now is going to be based here, and it gives us now accurate information.
The LC5 chairman, Chibale District Engineer Muhonge Godfrey, appealed to farmers in Bunyoro sub-region to embrace the project to improve their livelihoods.
The Uganda Climate Smart Agriculture Project is among the 69 districts that where the project is going to be, and we have committed ourselves as Kiva District Local Government to work hand in hand with the ministry to make sure that this project in the district is a success. This year we have had a stakeholders meeting of all the sub-counties, and we have already harmonized on the enterprises, on the value chains we are going to consider in the district.
The 6th-year project is funded with the support from the World Bank to a tune of $354.7 million, with a counter-funding of $4.7 million from the Uganda government, and is to benefit 69 districts, including 7 refugee hosting districts. Aviona Francisco, UBC.
I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day. Yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks. Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
There is myths that so many of you live by. If your eye is twitching, it means you're going to see someone you like. If it shines and rains at the same time, it means a leopard is giving birth. If your hand is itching, it means you're going to get money. If you see an owl, it means somebody's gonna die. If you hear of a disease outbreak, just know it is in a village district at the border next to some suspicious country. You will want to scratch that last myth, because Mpox is in 19 districts and Kampala is among with dozens of cases. Please stop going around checking anyone's hand. Mpox kills. Protect your loved ones.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Kyambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
And into the world of sports, Uganda's national netball team, the She Cranes, has beaten Malawi 51-43 to earn a place in the 2024 African Netball Cup final, in which it plays South Africa tomorrow at the MTC Dome in the Namibian municipality in Swakopmund. Let's hear more.
And that brings us to the end of the second quarter semi-final.
After falling behind 8-14 at the end of the first quarter, Uganda returned for the second and leveled the game at 23-all going into the second half.
That last 15 minutes that we really gave the ride and were really consistent on our attack, and we had a lot of turnovers, so that's what happened really.
In the third quarter, Uganda dominated and led 39-32 going into the final quarter that ended with a 51-43 victory.
Let me say, each and everyone helping one another on the court, supporting everyone, though whenever mistakes comes around, but still couldn't just let the team go, but still we had that total team spirit, because we really wanted this game battle off, because we had that hope of beating Malawi in a big range, because I knew before starting the game. On paper, or as one listens to this, it may appear as though Uganda strolled, but wasn't the case. It took tactical changes at the end of the first quarter, with Sandra Nambiriga replacing Hanisha Mohamed and Maseba Tamuliza coming on for Joyce Nakibule. This led to a technical switch that allowed Gloria Aya to go into goal defense alongside Farida Kandondi and Nambiriga into wing defense, a move
that steadied the boat.
But later on, we managed to do some substitutions here and there, and here we are. We thank God because we have won this game.
Uganda will in the final play South Africa that beat Zimbabwe 63-41.
Uganda started badly, but later on, Uganda showed it can make it. The skills, the talents the girls showed that they have persistence. Uganda girls are very persistent.
Both South Africa and Uganda have won this championship thrice, with the She Cranes successful in 2014, 2017 and 2018.
We congratulate the She Cranes netball team and of course Uganda at large, and we know we will beat South Africa as well. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Mpango Mugalu Mohammed has been with us on Sign Language. Let's meet again at 10 o'clock.
Praise the living God. I'd like to thank the Lord today. It's a big day in the whole world, especially about Christmas season. Christmas is a time of spiritual reflection on the important foundation of the Christian faith all over the world. It is a day we celebrate the birth of Jesus, the Son of the Most High God, and the time when we make a review, we collect many historical events that build itself and make us remember the great man, this young man, this powerful man.